Hi, I'm Eileen Fein, and I'm so happy to have you here. I'm a mindfulness coach and the founder of the Tiny Balcony. For the past decade, I've been helping people just like you give themselves what they need through the power of mindfulness. You have a lot going on in your life right now, and you took the time to be here today, and that tells me a lot about you and your commitment to bringing change into your life. Today, I promise that you're going to walk away knowing the four things that you must be doing to live mindfully, a simple approach that I use in my own life and practice. Now, maybe you've tried a meditation app or taken free classes on YouTube or tried mindfulness with a yoga teacher, but it just didn't work out. It sounded good when you tried to put it into practice, though, it all kind of fell apart. And all those good intentions went out the window. Well, that's probably because you were approaching being mindful by just focusing on being still, like a monk, and expecting your thoughts and feelings to just stop, and peace of mind and happiness to just materialize. And you know what? That's reasonable based on the way media have touted how easy mindfulness is. It's just being present, right? So let me ask you to share in the comments, how successful have you been with your previous efforts to bring mindfulness into your life? Give me a 1 for pretty good, to a 4, my monkey mind does not do well with mindfulness. And I want to tell you, yeah, I get it. I appreciate you sharing this. And I hope that what I'm going to tell you today helps you to feel better, because none of that is your fault. Because if you're just trying to be present to be mindful and expect something to just happen without tuning into what you're actually experiencing and what those emotions are trying to tell you, your subconscious mind is going to take over, and that critic in your head will start yakking away. So please don't feel defeated. Today, I'm going to walk you through the 4 things that you can do to bring mindfulness into your life. And if you're interested, how I can support you doing those things on a daily basis. So let's get started.
Mindfulness has the power to set you free, but that peace of mind seems so far out of reach for me, at least, for years, thanks to a busy mind and schedule. Believe me, I have been where you are right now. I've been there, done that. So I started using an approach to mindfulness that didn't ask me to sit in silence. This approach asked me to recognize the present moment, experience my emotions, surrender what I couldn't control, and trust the journey, not the outcome. I call this approach rest, and today I'm sharing it with you. So let's start with R. R is for recognize. The first thing you need to do to be bringing mindfulness into your life is recognizing the present moment without judgment. Mindfulness is about being present in each moment and recognizing what it's giving you, even in the challenging moments. And here's the part that's been tripping you up without you knowing it, because it's often left out. The most important part is being present without judgment. That means not layering an old story or a future expectation on top of what you're experiencing in this present moment. Because when we allow the past and its limiting beliefs, or the future and its expectations to filter what is happening, we're reacting versus experiencing life. That's living unmindfully on autopilot. If you feel like that's you a lot of the time, write the word autopilot in the comments. I hear you. But when we're mindful, we are paying attention to what is happening right now in our external and internal world, to our feelings, our body sensations, our thoughts, our emotions, our inside world, to a conversation with a friend, clouds in the sky, sounds outside the window, the flavor and texture of what we're eating, our outside world. And we're creating a space to take it in and process it without getting a story put on top of it. We're letting that moment give us the teachings and gifts it wants to give us. Now that might sound simple, but we all know what happens when we try to be still. To-do lists, self-criticism, wandering thoughts, limiting beliefs, that voice in your head that just won't stop. Being present without judgment takes practice. Think of it like exercise for your mind. That's what mindfulness actually is. When you practice being mindful, you are growing new pathways in your brain that balance emotions. So like exercise, the more you practice being mindful, the easier it gets. And eventually you have muscle memory for mindfulness. Now, you wouldn't run a marathon without training, so don't expect to make a big jump into mindfulness and expect nirvana. You need to start small. Something like meditating for just 5 minutes a day is great, but there are so many other ways to be mindful. You can also use your senses, which is a great approach because it gives your mind something to do, and it helps connect you to your body and the emotions that it's experiencing. More on experiencing emotions in our next step. So let's do a simple mindful practice together right now. And it's going to help you key into this moment by using all of your senses. So I want you to bring your full awareness to where you are right now and this moment and recognize 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. And I want you to just take in anything that comes up and notice what comes up with each thing you focus your attention on. And try not to rush through the exercise. If thoughts and emotions arise, just let them come up, recognize them, and don't react. Just let them flow through you. Breathe and just experience what you feel in your body as you work through each of your senses and what it's giving you. Now here's what I had. For the 5 things I can see, I'm going to take a look around, and I have the plants that are over my desk, the drawing my daughter did in kindergarten that sits on my desk, my reflection in the mirror that's opposite me, the paint that's on the wall in front of me, and all the stuffed animals that have flowed over from my daughter's room into our bedroom. For the 4 things I can touch, there's the wood on my desk, the weight of my cell phone, the fabric of my sweater, and the softness of my skin. The 3 things that I can hear, well, there's the mini heater that I have at my feet, the birds outside, the silence of the house right now without my daughter in it. For 2 things I can smell, there is the shampoo from washing my hair this morning and my coffee. And the 1 thing I can taste is that coffee, which I look forward to so much every morning. Now, as I go through all those things, my monkey mind is desperate to take over and put a list of things to do and judgments about what it is that I need to do about all of those things, about getting the apartment painted again because the walls are not looking that great, seeing that I haven't watered the plants very well for the last week because they're not looking too healthy, taking a look at the mirror and seeing the dust that's on it, and also that maybe I should think about using a different face cream. All kinds of self-judgment and criticism. But I'm not going to give in to my monkey mind, because what I'm not going to do is judge myself for judging myself. I'm not going to fuel myself because I'm not paying attention to that chatter. I am just letting it flow through me, and I'm paying attention to what my body is telling me that I'm feeling versus that chattering mind. And that's what the next step in this rest approach is. E is for experiencing your emotions. What is your body trying to tell you through what it is that you're feeling? Mindfulness isn't about stopping your thoughts and feelings. It's about creating a new relationship with them. One where you're experiencing and listening to what your emotions are trying to tell you. Are you feeling happy, sad, lonely, excited, nervous? Is your heart racing or is it calm? Are your muscles tight or are they relaxed? And what are those sensations telling you that you need? What do you need to do more of, or what do you need to stop? Do you need to take time for rest or nutrition or connection? There is so much information in there about what you value and what you need if you just pay attention to it. Mindfulness is attention without judgment. Because when you judge an emotion like anger, fear, loneliness, anxiety as bad or unwanted or inappropriate and try to push it down, you create a conflict in your mind about how you actually feel versus what you think you should be feeling. And resolving this conflict requires a lot of energy and causes you to feel even worse. This, in turn, leads your thoughts to take you even further away from the present moment. But through acceptance, you allow every feeling, emotion, sensation, and thought to just be there, because they're going to be there anyway. Instead of fighting against your feelings or thoughts, mindfulness gives you a tiny space to experience them without judgment. It allows you to be the observer of the feeling, someone who is no longer identified with the feeling and all the labels and judgment and criticism that comes with it. You are the person standing outside yourself, looking at what is happening. And in this small space, you will experience how quickly an emotion or feeling can come and go when judgment isn't attached to it. And the added bonus to this is that by letting go of the struggle, you save so much energy. With mindfulness, you take the information that you need from that moment and you let the rest of it go. Like for me, when I was looking around my room and doing the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 practice, what it helped me to remember is just how much I value time with my family, how much I value taking care of myself, how much I value the aesthetics of our home and taking care of that too. And that helps me to remember to set boundaries with my time so I can take care of myself and my family and my home and say no to things or delegate things that don't need my attention because they don't fill those values. That's emotional intelligence, and it's critical to mindfulness. So let's talk a little bit about emotions and what they are, because they're really important. Emotions are physical responses your body has to your world: fear, sadness, happiness. Your heart rate goes up or down. Your body tenses or relaxes based on these emotions. They are physical energy that needs to be released so that we can remain healthy. But here's something really important to understand. You can't pick and choose the emotions that you're going to bury or feel, because when you bury one emotion, you bury all of them. When you bury anger or sadness because you don't want to feel them, you also can't experience true happiness or joy. And why is that? Well, because when you cut yourself off from what you're feeling in your body, that connection is cut. So here's a question. On a scale of 1 to 4, how would you rate your emotional IQ? How tuned into your emotions are you? Do you know what you're feeling, or is everything just labeled under a state of stress? I want you to give me a number in the comments, with a 1 being tuned in to what your emotions are telling you and giving yourself what you need, to a 4 where you're just living in a state of stress and basic exhaustion. Now, if you're a 4 and you feel clueless about how you really feel other than stressed and tired, don't feel bad. It's probably because you weren't allowed or supported in having big feelings or sharing what you were feeling when you were a kid. When emotions are discouraged or dismissed at an early age from important people in your life, like your parents, your family, your teachers, or authority figures, it conditions you to believe that there are good and bad emotions. Like maybe you were taught that emotions like anger or sadness or being too excited were bad or messy or selfish or just being a pain in the neck. And other emotions like happiness and being calm were good emotions, and that's what nice kids acted like. All of that impacts your emotional intelligence. And why does that matter? Well, because our emotions connect us to our needs. They are built into our genes. They are physical responses to situations that help us understand whether we should flee from danger, stand up for ourselves, spit out rotten food, or give someone a hug. Experiencing our emotions has been an important part of our evolution and our survival as a species. And when fully felt, These emotions help us live a more connected and full life. They are energy. They impact your heart rate, your blood pressure, your body temperature. And energy needs to go somewhere. Energy can't be destroyed. We learned that in physics, if you remember. So if that emotional energy isn't being expressed, it's going to get stuck. And it does get stuck. Layer upon layer and years upon years of emotions like anger or sadness that should have flowed out of you have become stuck in you, in your muscles that become knots, and in your hormonal system that gets thrown out of whack, resulting in a constant stream of stress hormones from living in a constant state of stress. Those stress hormones include cortisol that wakes you up at 2 a.m. in the morning, and adrenaline that makes your heart race and your muscles tighten up when nothing is actually threatening you. That's why you're so tired all the time. Your mind and body is exhausted. Because when you disconnect from your emotions, you begin to count on your mind 100% to help you survive. And that's where your real troubles start. Because the mind's language is thought, but most of your thoughts aren't based on truths. They are based on stories created by your 10-year-old self who just didn't want to get hurt again. Stories that live in your subconscious mind. Stories that have gotten replayed over and over so many times that they've become the soundtrack of your life, playing on repeat in your subconscious mind. Say hello to your limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are the reason that you feel stuck in a looping story. And they are the reason why any kind of change is so hard, because they live in your subconscious mind. You're in a comfort zone where you know how to survive in your subconscious mind. It's not happy in there, but it's familiar, and familiar is safe. It's why you keep repeating the same behaviors like you have a split personality. You want one thing, but you do the opposite. Drop the word sabotage in the comments if this is you. Believe me, you are not alone. I want you to know that even though you consciously want to change, you want a life of peace and purpose, you want nurturing relationships and love in your life, or to have a healthy body, or to not lose your temper again, or to try something new, or to bring change into your life, your subconscious mind perceives anything new, good or bad, as danger. Your mind does not like change. It wants to stick with the old stories, the tried and true limiting beliefs that play in a loop in your subconscious, because even if you're miserable, you're safe. To make real change in your life and live mindfully, you have to let go of limiting beliefs and surrender to the things that you can't control while focusing on the things that you can. And that's the third step in the REST approach to mindfulness. S is for surrender. Surrendering the things you can't control and focusing on the things that you can. With mindfulness, surrendering doesn't mean giving in or giving up. It's an act of self-empowerment where you are consciously choosing where you put your focus, time, and energy on what you value. But after years of judging everything and trying to control everything with judgment, how do you stop? Kindness. Kindness is the antidote to judgment. And when you direct it at yourself, it takes the punch out of that critic that lives in your head and stops that loop of limiting beliefs. In the light of kindness, that voice in your head needs to go back in its corner and sit down. So let's do a mindful practice right now together to help you bring kindness into your life. So let's do a mindful practice together right now to help you bring kindness into your life. This loving kindness meditation will help you bring kindness, also known as self-care, into any part of your day whenever you need it. Loving kindness meditations are usually directed towards others and have been shown to benefit our well-being. So there's no reason that we can't direct it towards ourselves when we need to give ourselves a little bit of kindness. As I said, you can do this meditation anytime, anywhere, and make up your own words that support what it is that you need that day. But for today, we're going to be using the phrase, may I be safe, may I be healthy, may I be happy. So I want you to sit comfortably and gently close your eyes. Start from a place of kindness. Feel your body as a whole, sitting and breathing. Bring kindness into your breath and let it move through each part of your body. Inhale and exhale. Set your intention by recognizing your desire to be happy. Say to yourself, in your mind or out loud, I want to be happy. And with this intention in your mind, begin offering yourself phrases of loving kindness. May I be safe. May I be healthy. May I be happy. Create a rhythm to each phrase, like a mantra, with each inhale. And if you like, imagine the light of each phrase entering your body with each inhale, replacing the darkness of judgment with each exhale. May I be safe. May I be healthy. May I be happy. Rest your awareness fully on each phrase and its intention. Notice any self-judgment or criticism to receiving these phrases and breathe into whatever comes up, letting it flow out with your breath. May I be safe. May I be healthy. May I be happy. Deep inhale and exhale. Wonderful job. On a scale of 1 to 4, how do you feel? With 1 being, not too good, to 4 being, it felt really nice. And if you felt like that was really nice, how can you focus your attention, your time, and your energy on doing more things like that so you can bring more of that feeling into your life? That's what mindfulness does for you. It helps you to see that each moment in your journey has something to give you, to teach you, to support you with, if you just focus your attention on it. Which brings us to the last step of the REST approach. T is for trust. Mindfulness helps you trust that the journey is the point, because the end goal is always going to be a moving target. Think back to all the goals that you've set up, like getting that promotion, that house, that car, that relationship, or whatever that goal might have been. And once you get it, you hardly ever feel like, wow, now I'm done. Life is complete. And that's because you've changed so much as a person in the journey to get to that goal that it probably doesn't fit who you are right now. But with mindfulness, you still have goals. You need goals to run your life, but you're paying attention to the journey and how you are evolving along the journey. And you trust that with each step of your journey, you are going to learn more and more the truth that you are already whole and worthy just as you are, with or without that job, that house, or that relationship. The journey is just bringing you closer and closer to trusting that truth. That's what mindfulness is, a journey paved with rest. Mindfulness requires you to recognize the present moment without judgment, to experience your emotions and listen to what they are telling you that you value and need, to surrender what you can't control so you can focus on what you can, and to trust in the journey. When you follow these steps, you will live a life of peace and purpose in each moment. not in the future or in the past, but right now. That's what mindful living is all about. And that's what I provide inside my membership at the Tiny Balcony. The tools you need to recognize the present moment without judgment, to experience your emotions, to surrender control, and to trust in the journey. Inside my membership, each week you have access to me through a live mindfulness workshop and Q&A, where we work through the fundamentals of mindfulness and daily practices that you can build into your life to support your journey. You have full access to a library of mindful meditations and breathwork classes that support your journey. Do you need to reduce stress or move past limiting beliefs or channel positive energy or make yourself a priority? All my meditations are organized by categories so you can easily pick one that fits your needs. You'll also get mindfulness tools and assessments delivered directly to your phone that help you track your progress and learn from your challenges and your wins. And a community of people cheering you on and celebrating those wins. And a complimentary welcome gift delivered directly to your doorstep. My Mindful Living collection, which I personally curated. It comes beautifully packaged with a crystal-infused water bottle, 3 crystals, rose quartz, amethyst, and clear quartz, and a lovely rose quartz scented candle to help you create a tiny space for mindful living. I created my membership because I believe mindful living is possible when you have the right tools and support. And at just $97 a month, that's less than $3 a day, you'll have my approach and my support to help you live mindfully and make mindful living a reality starting today. So, I want you to close your eyes right now, and I want you to imagine what your life would be like in 3 months if you put all the things we talked about today into practice and had less stress and more peace. If you had a mindful practice that could help you let go of limiting beliefs and self-sabotaging behaviors, that could help you channel more positive energy into your life. I want you to sit with that for a minute and really feel it. Now I want you to imagine what it would feel like to be in the same spot you're in right now, 3 months from now. What does that feel like? And if you're more committed to the part of you that wants change than the part of you that wants to stay in your comfort zone, write the word change in the comments below, and I'll send you a link to join my monthly membership. Let me support you in bringing mindfulness and all its benefits into your life. Write the word change in the comments below, and I'll tag you in a post and send you an email with information about how we can do this together. I want to thank you so much for being here with me today and for trusting me with your time. Please come back into this community often and tap into all the free resources that we have. I look forward